Yeah, 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 yeah. Anywho, when you go to Mashiach, we live at times, we live at our poison, Shnei Zaman, these days, Pashachay. So, after that, another view, all the Yanis, Beguf Gashmi, and another view got high, cause I got high. Cause I got high, cause I got high. I could be a neuroscientist and then I got high. I was gonna fly airplanes and then I got high. so so but in Yan we didn't know. Another view is greater than Moshe Arnold because they want the desire, the Rebbe comes the desire to come close to Kuchibriz. The only desire when we come close to Kuchibriz, we get close to Nefesh, like we had Matan Torah, Chulu, is the Yan. The Balatanya, we come, you get the Dveikus, you eat a bagel and be able to come down. Many of us, most of us probably need a lot more than a bagel, That's why many of the Hasidim they have a hat and they have like a guard to keep them grounded and the woman they put on these big like heavy shaitels and towels over the head. Otherwise, so anyway, Nadav is after. So we didn't know who Nadav Avihu was. Really, they're greater than us all. All they want was kuchabri chulu chulu chulu. So the same thing, it's right. The parsha connected to the yard of my father. The yard of my father's called Pappa Kups. Avram Aleim Chaim Arm Evelu Neshama. Greatest tzaddik ever, chulu chulu. But the tzaddik, he was so humble, nobody knew. It's like Avram Avinu, chulu chulu v'chulu. So many of these, tzaddikim workers, we don't know, chulu chulu v'chulu. So, what I was thinking about, my father for years, he'd do everything for everybody, he took care of so many, he gave tzedakah, and so he'd never say anything. Everything in tzedakah is b'pnim, mitzvah b'pnim, is chulu 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 lishma. He wouldn't go around, I did for you, blah, 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 blah. He give, nobody knows. He did. All he wanted to do is do chesed and tov for others, and everybody that knows him, so many people knew him. All they had was a good word to say. Do achnasas orchim for years. Mamash kamo Avram Avinu, and one story after another. I wanted to say, funny. I wanted to say something I remember from my father. Beautiful, Shalom buys Pappa Kups. So the Coopermans, we never said that. My father's the strong, silent type. Coopermans don't say I love you. My father never really said I love you. But he gives aints of love, and everybody knows he had the most love out of everybody. Nobody had more love than my father. So one time, a Shalom Bayit lesson for us all. My father would buy for my mother every Shabbos. He would buy before Friday. He would buy for my mother, some beautiful flowers. And no offense to my mother, and my mother was angry or whatever. My father took the flowers. He said, you're angry. You don't appreciate the flowers. Took the flowers, threw it out the window. Said, I'm never getting you flowers again. Never got her flowers again. Maybe that's why they get divorced. Maybe not. But it's a good end to the fairy tale. My mom at the end got married, so was able to give her the love she desired. My father had his freedom, hang out with the boys. Kingston was the happiest person ever at the time. Never got married. He's happy, just freedom. Geula, sit at Pizza Kingston with the boys and hang out. And so one time I flew in. I was in my father's friend. We're sitting at Kingston Pizza. And this fat friend over there. He's like, oh, Coops, oh. We had this worker. It's an ex-KGB worker who goes over to me and says, yo, Coops. He said, your mother left such a great tzaddik. Look at your father, such a great tzaddik. And he left him for that schmuck over there. And I said, look. In the Torah is a mitzvah. Yeah, he's a mitzvah. Divorce is also a mitzvah. So my father had another friend called Shalom. And he put a tefillin on his, like a celebrity over there. He put a tefillin on 1 million people. So Shalom was divorced 7 times. He looked at me, he said, he said, the greatest mitzvah. So what the inyan? What do you learn from this? You learn, that just because a person gets married, it doesn't mean they have to stop loving the woman, khulu. Even though they gave their soul, their life, the kidneys and the liver, and they gave the mansions in the Bahamas, and all their money, and their kids in the poodle to the woman. It doesn't mean you have to stop loving her, khulu, khulu, khulu. And for the woman, guys are not monkeys. Maybe it appears that way, as a conductor, to appreciate the guy, works his ass off, does everything, little appreciation, a little bit, a little dance, maybe a fake smile, I appreciate you, my sweet hubby, khulu, khulu, khulu. So the point is, yeah, verstehst du the inyan, but so there's another inyan I thought of this, It brings a story that I remember from all of this, just to appreciate, be grateful for one another, and have gratitude for one another. Obviously, you have to have great self gratitude to Kuchabrichu and everything. So we get these points we don't appreciate, we're not grateful for the things we have in our life and for others and for Kuchabrichu to understand. No, and it's not that a zivug in a marriage is more than kiryat yamsuf chulu chulu chulu, and to maintain a zivug chulu is ain't so more than kiryat yamsuf. Is everything that happened kiryat yamsuf, the fat cow, the 40 years in the dust, and going into Eretz Yisrael, meaning it doesn't end after the second you get the woman, and it doesn't end after the guy gives everything over to the woman. It's something that's maintained every single day. It's like a famous story of the tzaddik that this guy got married, and everybody told him not to get married. He went to one tzaddik, and this tzaddik, no, get married. But he said, okay, take this. He wrote a note, and he said, take this, open it up. At a certain point, I remember he told him to open up. He said, remember to open up in 15 years. He gave him a date. I don't know. So he gets married, and he has a horrible, horrible marriage. And he says, oh, everybody told me so, And I listened to this Rav or whatever, this tzaddik. And he says he finally can't handle it anymore. He gets divorced. This is like the Sipor Galus, chulu, chulu, chulu. Like a bad, it's like the Galus is like a bad zivug, chulu, chulu, chulu. And after this, after years and years of suffering, finally gets a divorce. And he's cleaning up the apartment. He finds a letter. And he finds a letter. He opened up the letter, and the tzaddik writes, now that you've been through your tikkun and you've been through hell, now you can be with your real zivug, and now you're able to go and get me bracha v'tzlacha mazal tov chulu chulu chulu. This is like the sipor of galus chulu chulu chulu. The galus is a bad zivug. So, it's not like someone went to the farber. So there's a decent zivug, there's a shit zivug, and there's a whatever. And then there's b'sheret, the soulmates, chulu, the perfect one, half and half chulu. But, there's probably infinitely more. The point is, in the geula, is we've been through the bad zivug, and now it's time for good. The good zivug with kuchabichu, ain't so tov, without the crackheads and all the garbage that we deal with in yom v'yom. Rak toiv oidite tov oidite simcha sham tu levav, ain't of simcha sham tu levav, chulu chulu chulu. And this is inyan. This is what kuchabichu is giving us now, chulu chulu chulu. And last year b'zchut my father, like a bunch of the enemy just, it was that day that they struck a bunch of the enemy, dropped dead. We were able to take out a bunch of the enemy. And this year, Yud Alvin Yud Beizir, what's gonna happen this year? It's good to tzaddik Yesod Olam, tzaddik Emet, chulu, what's gonna happen? Let's all wait and see. May God bless. Kol Baruch Kol Am Yisrael. Let's come to serve Hashem. Shatep Ula Bismillah. Kohanim Levim. Shem Bismachos David Kabbanis. Kitosh B'kum Nachem Ponim Menorah. Kohanim Shabbat Bismillah Shav Levod. Men Kol Am Yisrael. Men Kino Atzon Am Tzal Leved. Peace and love and peace. Yichei Amelech. Yamakol. Long live the sweet queens. Chai believe of a soft and loving heart, and love one another like Kucha people love. So look, she makes a good wine. Wine that just fill it up, there's my noven gives mango lustem wine. Yeah, man, my wine simon gula. You see, Bashem says, you see water. You see, Bashem see water simon, but my wine gula shnev is meaties, man. Chai believe of levaka, wachatad, mechalom. Oide priagofen. Mm. Amen. May God bless. Share here now. May God bless. And nothing gets my good lesson. May God bless. Umar.